It's not that I didn't want to do a shop tour, it's that it feels to me like nothing is done yet. But actually, well, we work on it every day, so it's been done, but it's not that visible. But then I'm gonna do it anyway, so in a year when I'm gonna do the next, we see the progression, which is very cool. Let's start with upstairs, which is the coolest factor right now is that we actually have lights, and they're all controlled with this little remote, like that. See? Warm light, not cold color, because I hate it. Only hospitals should have that. The light here, it's enough to, you know, do normal things, but when I'm working or making videos, I normally have all this kind of contraption, so as soon as you get in, this is like the wooden working area. It's probably what I use the most and where I film the most, but it's 1% complete. I want to have all this area here raised like 20 centimeters, so I can have like wires and hoses and tubes, everything underneath, nothing hanging, because now the problem here is like having power and everything. You see all the cables running. It's driving me nuts. It needs to change. I call it woodworking area, but it's actually where I do everything besides metalworking. Well, not everything, but most stuff, like model making, you know, plastic and everything. The goal is to have, like, for every macro category, having like a dedicated area. For example, like 3D printing now, it's in the middle of the room there. It needs to have like a cleaner room. Electronics need to be clean as well, so like an enclosure for the whole area. I'm very far from having that, but working on it. I thought this was more dramatic, like. In here I have the big Cnc router table. In there I have the laser, the ping pong, and here is right now what is like the vlogging station. In one of the videos, I don't remember which one, I built this little thing. I'm trying to understand how I want to change it, but I think I'm just gonna rebuild the whole thing in the form of a wall, like probably like a cart like this, and then a wall with all the things hanging. Not sure yet. I have a lot of this green bins that you open like that, and you can also take out. Right now, the things that I have inside, they're more like deep storage. I don't like how it's set up. Because it's visible what you have inside, I want to have only the things that I use the most. So like this is actually okay, but keycaps and stuff like this is stuff that I know that I have them when and if I need them. I probably look in the computer and see where they are. I don't need to have them like ready like this. This is like waste of nice space. This is what we call the Dexter, and it is basically just storage, but it needs to be a little cleaner, so we put that wrap around that looks like Dexter thing. These are all my power tools and RC car, but that doesn't matter. All my power tools will need to have a dedicated wall, and this is gonna be one of the next videos I'm making. Did you see that I was there? This is the office. It's where I am like 95% of the time doing mostly computer work and designing and stuff like that. The plan was to make it more sci-fi. It still is the plan, but it needs a lot of time because the idea that I have, it's kind of complicated. So I decided to do it in the summer when it's easier to work for a long time outside, because right now it's freezing cold. This is the electronic station. Right now, I don't know why there's all kind of things and maker knife there, but someone is doing something and he didn't clean up, but probably they're still doing something, hopefully. This is some of the 3D printers. The one I use the most is actually in the office. I can't show you the office very well because there's a lot of things that I can't show you, but I'm gonna show you just the 3D printers because it's awesome. This is the Sigma X from BCN 3D. It's awesome because it has two extruders that they work separately or individually. They work by themselves, so you can do like mirror or like two color or duplicate the build volume. It's pretty awesome. That's Mario editing yesterday video. This is officially, when we don't know where to put something, here's where it goes. But the plan is to have in the future, all this area is gonna be offices, design studio, meeting rooms, everything that is like more officey. It's gonna be the whole area here. It's pretty huge. Also like a social area with all, you know, social stuff. Actually, there, that little table is our meeting room right now, which is open. There's no window there. Let's go downstairs. if you saw like old videos, this area complete was like completely covered in trash. If you didn't see the other videos, all this trash is because the squatters are leaving some of my shop right now, and we're waiting for them to go, and then we can clean. But luckily we have some part. Oh, you already started. Yeah. Now it's all clean. This took a really long time. And by the way, in here there's 3 apartments and it was full of squatters. They're not there anymore. I got a lot of questions about them. Thank you for asking. They're all being taken care of. No, I'm kidding, but they went away, and I'm pretty happy about it. They're waste too. When you get downstairs, this is what you see. It's mostly all storage. Now we want a bird. Hi, bird. Here I have some forklifts. One is missing. And it's mostly storage because of that auction that we won with all the light things. Ooh, interesting note. All the lights, by the way, are controlled by this as well. We built all the lights with like parts that we got from the auction, so they are pretty nice and they are exactly what we need, no more, no less. Pretty awesome. These tables, they're just fantastic. Like, they're super old. They come from a very old factory, but like, look at the patina. They're so nice, and they're still full of crap. But cool crap. Like, I can't wait to, you know, take the time. Probably this can be a video too, like taking the time and take all the tools and see what cool stuff are there, because a lot of things are very cool. Like, it's cool stuff. Robot arm, you know about this. Otherwise, there's a link here, a video that we just shot, and we have a lot more to come, but I can show you because we're using this a lot for the new Kickstarter video, so I can show you too much. That video that we made, it was like a test, see how we can use it, and the results are pretty nice. In here there's some hardware. See, like, everything is labeled, you see what's inside. Like, this is stuff that takes a lot of time, and it feels like there's no progress, but it's just because it's a lot of little things that all together they look like nothing, but it's a lot of work involved. Oh, look at this. They come from I don't know if you can call it typography in English, but a print shop. I wanna, probably 2 of these are gonna be in my own studio, because I want to dedicate one part of this huge shop to just my studio, where, you know, I can have one-to-one talk with camera and have all my precious things. And because this place is so huge that I'm missing the feeling to have, you know, my little place where I can do just my little things. In here, everywhere there's, you know, people and blah blah blah. So I can't wait to have my studio. I showed you this area already like a few months ago. This is from the auction I said before. It's all LEDs, lights, solar panel, inverters, everything. We already sold some, but it's taking longer than I hoped for. But I don't mind, because we are actually using a lot of those lights for the place, and the price was actually pretty good. So it's already a win just if we use the things we want. This is an entrance for one of the apartments. Now, this apartment is actually, this is what we use as a photo shooting thingy. I'm not sure if I can show you what's there. Yes, I can. Pretty disorganized. We just finished the shooting, but it's where we shoot all the products and, you know, the nice thumbnail pictures and everything. These strobe lights, they are very, very cheap. We actually reached their limitation, but for like normal things, they're awesome and they're super cheap. Like, one of these is probably 100 euro compared to a professional one that is like 3,000 euro. I wish I could show you the picture that we're making for the new Kickstarter thing, because you'll see. When you'll see the picture, know that they're all made here with this crappy hobby stuff. You won't believe it. This is Gabriello in his natural state. This is the machining part, which is the only almost completed part, and so far my favorite, because it has all the lights and, you know, the foliage, that it's making your machining work a lot more precise, you know, when you have. This is the welding area, which is, I'd say, 60% complete. I'm now like having, because I didn't weld for a long time, but now I'm liking it again, so I think you're gonna see more of me welding in the future here. This is unbelievable. Someone left his toothbrush on the welding table. Like, who does that? Now, let's talk about the big-ass CNC machines. They need some work, and we tried to fix some things, and we were like fixing something and breaking something else. Like, for one thing that we fixed, there were like 3 that we broke or damaged somehow. So I decided that enough with this machine by ourselves for now. They're too complicated. Like, you need to know how they work exactly in and out. So in a while I will have someone coming here and like making them in working condition so we don't break everything. This one is actually kind of working. It needs some little things that probably we can do. And the EDM, this is the EDM. That is a very complicated machine. It's the only thing that I wanted out of all this machine that came with that auction, and that for sure I'm not gonna touch myself. I wanna have someone from the company coming here, put it in working condition and teaching me how to use it, because that is exactly the kind of machine that we used in China to make the maker knife. You know, those cuts inside, they're made with that EDM machine, orange thing. But I'm not skilled enough to like prepare the machine. It's like super complicated. I don't want to do it myself. I know, I'm really sorry, today's video really but I have no time and really not energy that much, so this was like a filler. I thought, what can I do in a little time? I'm gonna do a shop tour, being honest. See you tomorrow.